friends, so today I was feeling inspired to make a little video all about Moldavite. So I just added Moldavite to my shop for the first time ever on Friday, so I wanted to share a little bit about Moldavite in the video today. I'm hoping that this will be a quick little video kind of just giving my opinion on Moldavite and what it can do for you, but I like to ramble so it might end up being really long. If you're looking to potentially get a piece in your collection, you want to start working with it but you don't really know what it's all about, or if you've heard some scary things about Moldavite and you want to know is it really as bad as it may seem, then I feel like this video is important to watch. So this video is going to focus more on the spiritual properties of Moldavite and the metaphysical side, which I don't normally dive into too deep on this channel, not yet at least. So if you're just into like the geologic properties and like the physical properties of crystals, then maybe this video is not for you. But if you are interested in the spiritual side, then let's get into it. If it's not for you, then that's okay. Before we get into it, if you see any of these crystals on my shelf that may interest you while you're watching, you can buy, I think most of them are for sale on my website right now, cosmicgeology.com, and you can use code YouTube for a discount at checkout. I think I forgot to mention that in my last video, but I do have a YouTube discount code, and you can use that at any time on any order. Just as a little thank you for checking out my videos and my shop. At this time of filming, I do also have some Moldavite in my shop. I have big pieces, small pieces, but they did go pretty fast when I put them up on my website on Friday, so if you're seeing this a long time in the future, I might not have any available, but check out the link down below for my shop to see if I have any Moldavite available, and you can use that YouTube code discount. I did really want to make this video today just because today is order packing and shipping post office day, so the orders placed on Friday in my Moldavite update are going out today. And I really just wanted to enjoy a big handful of Moldavite energy before I send them off, so I felt like this was the perfect time to make a video about them. And I'm so excited for you guys to get your Moldavites if you ordered one. So let's get into it. What exactly is Moldavite? Moldavite is a tektite. It was formed by a meteor impact about 15 million years ago. So it is a glass. So it has glass-like properties. It will have bubbles. It can chip. It is a glass. Moldavite is currently only found in Czech Republic. The meteor hit in that region 15 million years ago, so it will not be found all over the world. Genuine Moldavite comes from Czech Republic. I've heard some rumors that Moldavite is mined out. It is not actually mined out currently. There is a limited supply, of course, because it is only in that one region from a specific meteor impact, which means it cannot be replicated across the earth. Moldavite will never come back once it is mined out, but it is not currently mined out. But because it is so rare, it is obviously quite expensive and it can be hard to find. Spiritually, it is believed that Moldavite came to Earth to help heal the Earth and raise the vibration. So what can Moldavite do for you? Moldavite has an extremely high vibration and extremely strong energy, so it is known as a stone of transformation. It can very quickly change your life for the better. It is great for accelerating your spiritual journey because when you use it or wear it or work with it, it will bring you up to its very high vibration. Moldavite is great if you are feeling stuck in life, or you're really ready for a change, or if you're trying to improve your life but you're really not seeing any results, and Moldavite can really make all that happen for you. Moldavite does balance all of your chakras and your energy so that you can raise your vibration and align, but it does specifically work with the third eye chakra and the heart chakra. The third eye because it is great for awakening your psychic abilities. It is great for spiritual protection. And the heart chakra because it's green, obviously, and it really helps with emotional healing. Many people can physically feel the energy of Moldavite when you are holding it. Some people say it feels like tingly. They may feel lightheaded. It can have such a strong impact on people. Personally, I don't feel any of those physical sensations when I just touch a piece of Moldavite, but I do always, for some reason, feel really shaky when I'm around a lot of crystals. Like, anytime I go to the crystal store, I really get shaky, lightheaded, like dizzy. So a lot of energies overwhelm me, but I don't notice anything specifically intense about Moldavite. Also, if you notice that my hair looks really bizarre and different today, it's going through something. It's a process, okay? If you notice that it looks wonky, no you don't. Mind your business. With Moldavite being the stone of transformation, it has the ability to quickly align you with things that are in your greatest good and take away things from your life that are not in your greatest good. It can quickly remove things in your life that are no longer serving you. It can help you connect with your higher self, and even can transcend time by connecting you to your past self and future versions of yourself. So this all sounds great, right? So why is Moldavite so feared by so many people? I think a lot of people on social media, especially TikTok, are just beginning to learn about crystals. It's quite trendy right now, very popular. A lot of people are getting into the crystal and spiritual world, which I think is amazing. But Moldavite is definitely not a beginner crystal. Moldavite should definitely not be your first crystal. So for these people who are newly getting into the community, they may not be ready for the intensity that Moldavite carries. You may have heard some horror stories about people who have bought Moldavite and terrible things happen to them right after they get it. Just things start falling apart, everything is chaotic, and they share these stories, and other people hear it and think of Moldavite as a scary stone. It will ruin your life, it will cause chaos, it will curse you, it will kill you, it will kill your family. And this just introduces so much fear around Moldavite. As with any form of manifestation or working with crystals or anything like that, your belief and expectation around your work is going to dictate how your experience goes. If you feel that Moldavite is scary and is going to uproot your life and traumatize you and curse you, then don't buy it, because that fear can really result in you having a negative experience with it. While Moldavite can't bring bad experiences into your life, it's not going to do anything that is not in your best interest. It is not going to, bring negativity, but your perspective of how Moldavite works will shape your perspective of the experiences you have with it. For example, if you think Moldavite is going to be crazy, chaotic, and ruin your life, if you start working with it, something may happen to you where, say, maybe you have a fight with a friend and then you're no longer friends, or a toxic relationship is removed from your life. You may see these as bad things, but really they are removing things that are no longer working in your favor. So they are helping you to align with your greatest good and remove things that may be holding you back. But if you are not viewing it as working in your favor, you will see those things as bad. If you truly believe that Moldavite is going to be a bad experience for you, then that is the experience that you will perceive. Moldavite's strong energy can be quite overwhelming if you don't already have any spiritual practice or experience, or if you've never worked with crystals before. It can really just throw you off if you're not ready for it, or if you don't know much about it. That's not to say that you can't work with Moldavite as a crystal beginner, but Moldavite does require you to do the work that comes with aligning with things that are in your highest good. It doesn't magically just poof your life into alignment and fix all of your problems. Moldavite can cause you to have to face your problems, which may feel negative. It may unearth negative emotions and negative things you've been repressing, negative experiences, and it will bring those up so that you can face them, work through them, and release them. So that can be a very overwhelming process if you are just expecting Moldavite to magically align you. It will dig up some issues that you need to work with in order to be your best self. If you really want to level up in your life and be your best version, there are things in your past, in your shadow, that you need to work with and work through, because you can't align with those things holding you back. It needs to be done. So I wouldn't recommend getting Moldavite if you're not willing or ready to do inner work that comes with it. Because Moldavite does align with the heart chakra and it assists in healing, emotional healing, it can cause emotional purging. So there may be emotions there that you do not want to deal with, but they need to be dealt with. And you may not even understand what's going on at the time. You may not understand why these things are happening. You may not understand why things are removed from your life or why these changes are happening. But it is important to just trust the process and work through it, because looking back, you will see in your life that maybe the things that were removed were not in your best interest and you have really grown and thrived without them. While Moldavite can very quickly align and transform you, more so than other crystals can, that doesn't mean it needs to be chaotic and traumatizing. Just because I said that it can be overwhelming and scary to deal with these things that are coming up in your life when you work with Moldavite, that doesn't mean that it needs to be scary. It doesn't need to be chaotic or overwhelming. You can learn the lessons that you need to learn and release the things that you need to release without horrible traumatic events having to happen to you. But if you truly believe that that's the way things are going to go and that Moldavite is negative, then the way you learn these lessons may come to you in a more overwhelming and scary way. It's all about your perspective and beliefs when it comes to working with Moldavite, as it is with any other crystal. It is not supposed to make all the things in your life suddenly go wrong. It is not supposed to just uproot everything that you have. Moldavite is supposed to help you, not completely throw your world upside down. Listening to and reading people's negative experiences with Moldavite and things that create fear around Moldavite help to create a collective belief that Moldavite is bad. And that causes more people to believe that Moldavite is bad, and those beliefs can bring about those experiences. So if you don't feel ready for Moldavite, or you are not ready for changes in your life, or you feel very fearful about it, then hold off on getting Moldavite. Don't feel pressured to get Moldavite if you do not think you are ready. Moldavite should call to you. Moldavite will pick you. When it is your time to have Moldavite in your life, you will feel drawn to it. Just because it's trendy and you hear all these crazy things happening and you want to see what it's all about, that doesn't mean you have to get it. Also, I want to say that just because something bad happens in your life after you start working with Moldavite does not mean that it is because of the Moldavite. Correlation does not equal causation. So if you get sick or someone dies right after you buy a Moldavite, that doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the Moldavite. So I know there's a lot of fear about it, but I truly do not believe that Moldavite would ever curse you, kill you, harm people to prove a point, to make you learn a lesson. I don't think it works that way. I personally don't think that any crystal has the power to curse people or do anything crazy and chaotic and harmful like that, but I think people's belief systems can draw negative experiences to them. If you are unsure if you want to work with Moldavite or not after hearing all that it can do, I would suggest trying it with a more grounding stone like black tourmaline, smoky quartz. Sorry if you hear my cats running around, they're being crazy. Using Moldavite with a more grounding stone can help reduce its energy so that it isn't too overwhelming for you. You may have to build up to working with Moldavite. You may have to just work with it for a couple minutes. Start by holding it, see how it makes you feel. Maybe just keep it on a shelf until you're ready. You can work with Moldavite as a beginner, and you can buy Moldavite if you don't even believe in spiritual properties and you just think it's a really cool tektite. Moldavite also may just be working in the background of your life if you choose to keep it on a shelf or not really work with it. If you kind of just have it in your house but you don't really work with its energy, it could be working in the background to help you without having to bring up huge, life-changing, noticeable changes. Personally, for me, I wear a Moldavite necklace almost every single day. I got my first Moldavite a couple of years ago, and honestly, I quickly lost it. A lot of people have actually experienced this where their Moldavite can go missing. Sometimes it never returns, and sometimes it pops in and out, which sounds crazy, but apparently Moldavite can actually disappear when it is done helping you. When it has done its job, it might disappear from your life. So the very first Moldavite I ever got was a tiny little chip piece, and it was quickly gone. I got more pieces around a year ago. I just recently got this piece a couple of weeks ago when I picked out the pieces that I bought for my shop. But about a year ago, I would say my life has changed a lot since a year ago, and nothing crazy or dramatic has happened since I bought Moldavite, but looking back over the past year that I've had it, there have definitely been a lot of shifts in my life, and I would definitely say that I'm in the best place that I ever have been in my life. And these changes happened without anything chaotic or wild happening to me. It is believed that every single piece of Moldavite that you work with will have a different purpose for you. So if you buy your first piece of Moldavite and then it disappears because it's done working with you, that doesn't mean that you have leveled up to the max and that you're done. if you buy another piece of Moldavite, it can have different things that it's working on with you. It is also not particularly recommended that you sleep with Moldavite, especially if you can physically feel its energy. You have a physical reaction to its strong frequency. Most people are not able to sleep with it because it is too strong. Personally, I do sleep in my Moldavite almost every night and I have no issue, but I also wear it every single day. To me, Moldavite feels like, have you ever had a situation in your life that you know isn't quite great, it's not optimal for you, but you kind of stick it out, just that's how things are right now, and then it comes to a point where things in your life get so bad that you cannot ignore the problem anymore. This has happened to me with jobs, where it's like, okay, I hate this job, but whatever, I don't feel like getting a new job, it's not good for me, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. And then the job gets so bad, something happens that is so terrible that you have no choice but to leave that job. Same with relationships, where you're not really happy in this relationship, but something happens. It comes to a point where you have no choice but to leave the relationship. Like, things have gotten too bad that you cannot ignore them any longer. And in that moment, things feel terrible. It feels like everything is falling apart. Things are so bad, but that's because things had to get that bad for you to realize that that is not supposed to be in your life. Things are not clicking. You are not aligned with that thing, and it's gotta go. This has happened to me a lot in my life. I don't particularly like change, especially when I'm not ready for it. So I tend to stick with things that are not good for me because I don't want to change. But this is how things have to change in my life, is it gets so bad that I can't ignore it anymore and I have to get rid of it. And things always feel better after that. That's kind of what Moldavite makes me think of, where it may bring up these bad things in your life, these things that aren't working for you, and you have to face them so that they can go. That's the only way you can move on, is if you get rid of that junk that's holding you back. Ready or not, you may be forced to leave situations that are not in your best interest, even if you don't feel ready. And like I said, Moldavite can only align you with things that are in your best interest. It can only raise your vibration, even if that requires working through some gunk and garbage first. It can only help you. It can only bring you up and align you to things that are of your best interest. It cannot bring you down. It cannot stray you from your course. Nothing bad can happen from it. Looking back, you will always be able to see how these changes have really benefited you and helped you and changed your life for the better. This may be as subtle as emotional changes or changes within yourself. It doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering in your physical reality. It may just change things within you that can help you to level up. So Moldavite is intense, and that's why a lot of people feel nervous about it. But like I said, there's nothing to be afraid of, and if you feel ready for Moldavite and you are ready to take on these challenges and improve your life drastically, then definitely don't feel afraid of buying Moldavite. Go for it. I am pro Moldavite. So I won't go too much into the fakes of Moldavite and how to identify fake Moldavite, because obviously that is in the market. You may encounter it, because I did talk about this in my last YouTube video, which was discovering fake crystals, and I also have an article on my website about fake crystals, so you can read more about it there. But I do want to give you a couple of tips if you are looking to purchase Moldavite for the first time. Moldavite is going to be expensive. Finding a huge piece is almost impossible. I was at a gem show yesterday and there was a big piece of Moldavite, like that big. It was $3,000. So you are not going to find a big chunk of it for a decent price. Also, chips in Moldavite are normal and very common because it is a glass and because it is unearthed. It is normal to see bubbles within a Moldavite. Fake pieces will appear very vibrantly green. They will be probably very uniform looking. Just be prepared, it's gonna come at a cost, but this is an investment to work on yourself. It is a very cool stone to have. Genuine Moldavite does range from very glassy to very matte. It can look very different. The batch that I got for my shop, the range is crazy. They all look very different, but they are all from the same supplier and they are all genuine. So Moldavite can just look very different. And again, let Moldavite choose you. If you are suddenly feeling drawn to Moldavite, then wait until you find a piece that really speaks to you, because the Moldavite will pick you. The piece that I picked for myself from my batch that I got from my shop, this one really spoke to me because it looks just like a walnut. I'm not going to try and get it out of the cage right now. It looks just like a walnut. It's kind of crazy. It looks really cool. It spoke to me. I didn't know this was the one I was going to pick when I first bought it. There's another one in my shop right now that speaks to me, so if no one buys it, then maybe it's meant to be mine. But let it speak to you. Pick a piece that you really like. Don't feel afraid. I just listed a bunch of crazy things that it can do for you, but don't feel afraid. Like I said, in my personal experience, I work with it often and I've never had anything bad or crazy happen to me, and I've really enjoyed working with it and seeing how my life has improved so much in the past year since I first got it. So yeah, that is all I wanted to say about Moldavite for today. Remember, there might be a couple pieces left in my shop. If you're interested in purchasing a Moldavite from me, you can use code YouTube for a discount at checkout on any order you place ever, as a thank you for watching my videos. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment your experience with Moldavite. I would really love to know how Moldavite has helped you, or what crazy experiences you've had with it if you have had any. I would really like to hear what you think of Moldavite and working with it. Also, let me know what kind of content you like from my videos, because this is a way more spiritual and out there video than I normally do. But if you are interested in more spiritual properties of crystals as opposed to just physical properties, then let me know, because I am happy to make more. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day.